Welcome to part 2 of our series of how to create an expressive hand. Last time we discovered how to create the basic form. Once the main forms are established, we can begin refining the details. Using sculpting tools, start defining areas such as the knuckles, fingertips, and subtle transitions in the surface, all whilst checking my own hand for reference. Here you can see me building up the clay to add texture to the palm area. The folds in my own hand help me to identify where needs more clay. At this stage, the sculpture becomes a process of constant adjustment, adding where the form feels flat and removing where it becomes too heavy or undefined. When I move into the detailing, I begin refining features like the fingernails and the joints. Here I work out where the knuckles will go and therefore how long the fingers will be. Once I'm happy with the length of the finger, I trim down the wire and cut into the finger and add an extra bit of clay on top, so that the wire won't show when the clay shrinks. I add depth and detail into the palm whilst moving out the textures. Next, I add in all the details into the fingers using a sharp tool to create the folds. I also add in more clay and create detail in the knuckles where the tendons meet the finger, and constantly smoothing and refining the textures to make it look more realistic. To create the nails, I use a sharp tool to draw in the profile and take out excess clay. I then use a larger, rounded tool to create the edge of the nail by pushing it into the edge of the finger. I then clean this up with the sharper tool. Make sure to keep the model moist to stop it from drying too quickly. When it comes to taking the model off of the former, I use clay wire to cut the base. I then cut a section out of the back of the hand and put it to one side for later. At this stage, the clay isn't fully dry, so it's still malleable and I can tease it out. Once the hand is free, I can take out all the excess paper I used to help create the form. I then use the pieces I put to one side earlier to repair the incision. Using a tool in the inside, I use my finger on the outside to smooth and compress the clay together. Once I'm happy with it, I use a bit of water and create small circles on a flat surface so that the base is flat and the hand can stand on its own. During the drying process, I wrapped plastic around areas of concern to slow the drying time. This stopped it from cracking. After the piece is fully dried, I can bisque fire it in the kiln. Join us for part 3, where we reveal the glazing process behind the final look.